Alright, so welcome back to another Patreon review. I swear not every YouTube video will be a Patreon request video. I just had so many on backlog that I was just so far behind. I was literally like, God, I've got so many to do. I need to like get back on track. Especially when they're giving me, you know, when I'm being paid for this, I kind of owe it to people to kind of do these videos. So yeah. So our next Patreon request comes from Jack Oliver, and Jack has another Patreon request, which I will do at some other point, some point later on. So this time around, this Patreon is his first one, and this is basically a mashup of the Marvel and Dragon Ball Z universe. Yeah, we're basically doing like a Marvel Dragon Ball Z not shared universe, but more like what if the Marvel universe became like the Dragon Ball Z universe became Marvel incarnate. Well, the Marvel universe, or at least a version of the Marvel universe. So this is gonna be tough. Yeah, this is a tough one because it's literally hard. It's very hard to figure out how. Like, it would have been easier if it was the DC universe. I would have had an easier time doing that with the DC universe. But yeah, this is going to be a little more difficult. So the first person I think would be like, instead of Iron Man, it would be Iron Woman. It'd probably be Bulma. Yeah, Bulma would probably be like an Iron Woman, and yeah, because she's already like Tony Stark as it is. I mean, it wouldn't be that hard to see her in an armor suit. In fact, I heard somewhere that she was supposed to be like in an armor, like an Iron Man kind of, like they were going to give her an Iron Man suit, but then the creator of the show the creator of the manga was like, nah, that's stupid. Let's have Bulma just be the love interest for Vegeta, and you know, once again, stick it to Yamcha. So how I think you would do it is like, maybe instead of like she can fire repulsors, but also like have little compartments in the armor to essentially just pop out little capsules that she could use to, you know, have like equipment ready for all you know, equipment, like, or another, like a suit ready, like just pop a capsule out of the armor and then just switch into another armored suit. Also, I'm very sure that Dr. Gero would be creating Ultron in this universe. I'm very certain that Ultron would be the one creating, yeah, he would be the one creating an Iron Man suit in he would be creating like a version of Ultron. And how I imagine like a Dragon Ball Z version of Ultron from the Red Ribbon Army, specifically from Dr. Gero, would probably be like more like streamlined and not like bulky, more like a streamlined kind of suit, like kind of form, almost like, imagine Cell, but with like, instead of like repulsor beams, he's got like the energy draining that Gero and Android 19 have. That would be like my thought. That would be my thought on that. Like, that would be my, essentially, my thought. I'm sorry, I'm just like, I'm trying my best to like really like get out good ideas here. But it's really hard. Because like, if this was the DC universe, I'd have been like, yeah, I've got good ideas for how for Dragon Ball Z and DC could mash up. But here it's like Marvel, where it's a lot harder. And I'm not saying like, oh, because Marvel's less powerful. It's more like there's no like real correlation for Marvel and Dragon Ball Z, so I'm kind of having difficulty here. I guess you could say like Beerus would maybe be the Thor of this universe, or at least some form of god, and like you could have like the other world be like Asgard, like the afterlife be Asgard or something like of that nature. I would say Goku himself would probably be, I don't know, there's no real America, so you can't really call him Captain America. Although, oddly enough, I could see Gohan being the Hulk. Let me explain. I think Gohan could be like a version of the Hulk where he's still like connected to the Azoro monkey inside of him. So whenever he like gets angry, he like hulks out into like a smaller version of that of the great ape. Like that's how I pretty much see that. Vegeta would probably I don't know, like who could Vegeta be in this universe? I don't know. That's a tough one. Like that's a real a tough call. I wouldn't say. Well, Frieza would definitely be Thanos. Like, or at the very Beerus maybe. Well, if we're going by movie Thanos, then yeah, Beerus would be Thanos. Vegeta maybe. I would say, like, maybe he is not Star-Lord, that would probably be Trunks. Trunks would be Star-Lord, and I guess Vegeta would be Jason, his actual father, not Ego from the Marvel movies. So, and that wouldn't surprise anybody. That wouldn't surprise anybody, would it? So, yeah. As for Piccolo, I would say Piccolo would be... I wouldn't say... Well, obviously he's not the Hulk because, he's green, so he's got to be the Hulk. No. I would say he'd be more like the Vision, but instead, like, maybe this version of Piccolo, like, his body was so badly wounded, and then Red Ribbon Army came in and, like, converted his body into machinery and, like, transferred his mind into a new machine body. Something like that. So, yeah. So there you go. There's just a few. This was a really hard one to do, but I swore I would do this Patreon. So yeah, this was still difficult. So I apologize to Jake if this wasn't up to par. I hope the other Patreon you just sent as of this recording sounds way more doable, and I will get to that when I have the time to. But this one was like really hard. If this was like a DC universe with Dragon Ball Z, I'd have been like, boom, I've got it all down. But Marvel, that's like, ugh. I struggled with this one. I really struggled with this one. Anyway, so you guys tell me in the comments below, because God knows you guys could probably come up with something better than me. How could you see a Marvel Dragon Ball Z mashed up universe? Just what characters could you see becoming Marvel superheroes and villains? And yeah, just comment below, let me know. And once again, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.